Hello and welcome all species. This is OWP Wrestling Bomb Shelter episode 2. Yes, this was meant to be a weekly type of thing, but we'll do it when we want to. Yeah? How about that? But anyway, Wrestling Bomb Shelter, if you didn't watch the first one, we catch up on, we do reviews of wrestling events that might have went on. We do weekly news, and we do a whole bunch of other stuff like Revitalize, but the main subject of today is which five professional wrestlers would I have defend our honor and be the Power Rangers? That's what the main subject is here. But let me introduce myself. I'm the 12-inch wonder. That's right, the 12-inch wonder, Drago. And I'm here with BLT, Bacon, Lettuce, Tomato in Liz.
Thank you, Mr. 2-inch, for the horrible introduction. For wrestling that might have happened over the week. And defend our honor, I'd rather defend our oath. So thank you very much for already botching things. Now, let's move on now to... Yes, this should have been a weekly thing. What is this now, a week and a half since we made the last episode?
It's a fortnight.
Let's go for fortnight.
After a popular video game.
That you still play, and we're now in the 10th season, Season X. You can get it now for free on the PlayStation Network.
Wrestling Society X.
Oh, one day we'll get onto that again. Okay, usually I kick it off with the news, but because we've actually missed out on what happened with SummerSlam and with NXT TakeOver Toronto. Is Toronto 2, or was this the first Toronto?
No, it's Toronto 2. They kept spamming it on the commentary table.
Yeah, I don't know. I just muted half the time anyway. Alright, so let's just start with TakeOver from what we did not see. Obviously, we'll get into the NXT spoilers that transpired today, but let's go on to what actually was taped. The dark matches for TakeOver Toronto 2. We had Breezango in the first match against the Forgotten Sons in Blake and Cutter. What's his name? Cutler, sorry.
Yeah, Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler.
See, they are forgotten. I don't know what the
And
names
Jackson Riker.
No, I don't. No, he wasn't part of the match. Maybe he was.
Oh
ringside.
no, he was ringside, then he got kicked out, my friend.
Is that how much no one cares about him?
He's forgotten.
Maybe we should go back to TNA's Gunner. Anyway, so in that first match, Breezango won. I guess we can put our comments about it though when we actually watch it when it airs on NXT TV.
It has. It's gone on YouTube.
Wait, is it on YouTube?
Yeah,
already?
it's already on YouTube. I watched it.
Shit.
I even watched the post interview that they had with Tyler Reese and Fandango. I like their whole Breezango going back to it. Plus, they need to fill up the tag teams if I guess you have Street Profits just appearing on Raw left, right, and centre. But continue.
Which we will get to that.
Yes.
So the other dark match was actually the what was it? The finals of the NXT Breakout Tournament. Jordan Miles against Cameron Grimes. I'm actually very upset with this. I wanted Cameron Grimes, the former Trevor Lee, to win, but instead ACH won. So he gets a title opportunity of his own choosing.
ACH is super. That's why. That's why he won.
Oh, well, I'd rather him go back to Japan with the gotcha.
And I thought, yeah, here we go. Cameron Grimes is probably going to at least add letters to his attire, but he's still rocking the black tights.
Is it still the black tights?
It's still the black tights.
You know what I'm going to miss? His PWG promos. That was good shit.
Yeah, but he's not going to swear anymore.
Yeah, but
not under Uncle Paul anyway.
Oh, but when he put down, Marco Stunt, he put down, Brody King, and then he put down, what's his name? Darby Allin. That was good stuff. Good
stuff.
stuff.
The half-painted one.
Yeah, check it out on YouTube. Alright, now let's go to what was actually televised for Toronto 2. In the opener, we had Street Profits defend and defeat the Undisputed Era. What did you think?
Okay. That's what I thought. Honestly, because once you see like them on Raw and that, you're like, oh no, they're transitional champions. They're gonna drop the belts to the Undisputed Era. But then they did pin the Illegal Man in a match.
Yes, yes. Well,
Yes. So of course there was something more to transpire out of it. It's good for Street Profits though. They needed a distinguishedly good win, and having that over Undisputed Era, formerly known as Red Dragon, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, is fantastic.
see, this is where we got the first prediction wrong. We actually both said new champions. We actually both said...
Just because of the way that they're putting them on the weekly shows. You can't say that anyone else probably didn't think it was going to happen, but anyway.
Well, we predicted that the Undisputed Era was going to walk out with all the gold.
I thought this was their pay-per-view, and having Triple H book it, for sure there'll be an Evolution type of celebration.
But, once again, though, NXT did start off with the tag team titles. Usually they have, the best match of the night. This one, though, but it was still good, though. It's still good. Undisputed always has a great match regardless. Now, moving on to the second match, we had Io Shirai defeat Candice LeRae.
That was what I was shocked with, because I
Yes.
thought Didn't Tegan Knox come back on the NXT live events out of injury? I
Yep.
thought for sure, here we go, Tegan Knox is going to come to Candice save, and then Tegan
Yeah.
and Candice were going to be this killer tag team
Yep.
defining women's wrestling. But it's still good, don't get me wrong. But I thought Tegan Knox was going to make an appearance, but I really hope this Io Shirai and Candice little debacle that's going on just goes on for a bit more, just a bit more, because I like it.
That okay, it's pretty early to say, but that was my favorite match of the night.
Yeah, when it went up to that point, I'm like, let's see what tops this, because it's going to be very hard.
That's probably one of the best women's matches on NXT history. I can actually go on a limb here and say probably the best women's match that wasn't for a title.
Yeah. Yep.
It was honestly a fantastic match. Io Shirai's heel turn's working, and in regards to Tegan Knox and Candice LeRae, watch them go onto the main roster as a forgotten women's tag team to get buried by Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss and potentially the Iconics.
They're going to be put with Dana Brooke, the Tropical Trio.
And they'll just wait until what's her name? Both of those. Oh God, what? Nia Jax and Tamina. They'll just squash.
They just
them
need a
into
female Shield, and if they book those horsewomen right, they can get done. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay, in the very third match, we had a triple threat match for the North American Championship, the NXT North American Championship. You had Velveteen Dream defend and retain against Pete Dunne, the longest reigning NXT champion of all time,
See,
and Roderick Strong.
This was probably one of the best matches I saw on the card, sheerly because how actually Pete Dunne copped the pin.
Yes, that
God.
came as a shocker. The spots in the match, a lot of people were saying were a bit sloppy. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. They were great spots. They actually strayed away from the traditional have the one man roll out. They actually had three men involved at most times, where most of the time one stayed on the floor and the other one was slammed onto the other one.
I know. And what I liked about it, the Pete Dunne, Roderick Strong heated feud really told the story within this. And it's good for Velveteen as well. He's bringing such prestige to this NXT North American Sonic Coin looking championship.
That is actually my favorite design title in NXT. That is a beautiful,
Oh.
beautiful crafted
Well,
title.
there's not much to choose from. That's why.
All the NXT titles are better than Ring of Honor at least.
Oh, no. You have that classic circle that Adam Cole
No,
had.
I'm talking the current Ring of Honor titles.
Don't even bring those up.
We'll get onto that for another day. But no, good match. But again, that was a match we got wrong. Actually, going back to the last match, I believe I was the only one that actually went for Io Shirai to win. And in this match, we both got wrong. But see, you mentioned Pete Dunne ate the pin. That feud's not over between Strong and Velveteen. That'll continue.
Oh, yeah, guaranteed.
And I will predict, I'll do an early prediction, Strong will get the title.
He'll have to.
If not, I'll go into conspiracy theory that he will actually be the one to beat Adam Cole, but we'll talk about that for another time. Now, speaking about defending NXT Gold, we have the NXT Women's title up for grabs. Shayna retains against Mia Yim. I don't know what everyone's expectations were. I don't know what our expectations were. I was going into it with another, Shayna's going to destroy in this match, but my God, what match did we see?
My mum always told me if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything.
I understand this match was supposed to be the battle of the brutes, in a sense. Because one's a baddie and the other one's an ex-MMA fighter. And Shayna Baszler's had some great NXT matches, but I believe it all depends on who her dance partner is. In this case, it just did not, it didn't flow right.
Okay, listen, we're nobody to talk about wrestling matches and flowing this and flowing that. We're just two personalities. But at the end of the day, why? Like I said, Mia Yim, yeah, this whole baddie gimmick, Blasian baddie, whatever. Yeah,
Nice
she
entrance.
should have been in there because fair enough, like the horsewomen are away. You should have been in there strictly just copying every left, right, punch, everything Shayna has to throw at her and just keep kicking at her too. Like, how is this lady keep taking this?
Yeah.
Then there should have been a spot where Mia Yim just barely misses out on that title. It goes to like a 2 3/4.
Yep.
That's how you should have done it. But having Mia Yim doing all these flying things, I'm not known to say don't do it, but you've had so many other ones do it, and they make it look so crisp. Mia Yim looks like, you know, when you chuck an axe into a tree, how it's jagged. That's
Well, what a description of that.
I would have loved this match on an NXT television episode, before a takeover. After the 3 matches they were before, it was probably just bad placement. That's all I'm going to say. But the match was, like what I said, if I've got nothing really nice to say, I'm not just going to say it, and that's the best way to keep it, I reckon.
Okay, well, I'm hoping that this feud's nice, done and dusted. I have to say this has to be Shayna's worst defense so far as champion. It's gone a bit flat now. Now, lastly in the main event, we had a 2 out of 3 falls. Let's just say it's a 3 stages of hell match. We had in the very first match a normal stipulation. In the second match, we had a street fight. And in the third match, we had a barbed wire steel cage match between the champion Adam Cole, who defended and retained over Mr. NXT Johnny Gargano's. What were your thoughts on the match?
Okay, I love all their matches. They always put on something great, but where is it for Johnny now?
I say it's no more. Well, originally I would have said it
He's
was
done
no
everything.
more.
He had his good buys at the NXT takeover
Yep,
as
that's
well.
correct. Yep.
We knew that Adam Cole was going to be in somewhat capacity. I started getting scared when all the other Undisputed Era members were losing their belts. But Adam Cole to retain, fair enough. Johnny Gargano, where is he? He's just like in this pit of, are they going to make a Triple Crown Championship like what they did in Noah for NXT? But far out.
Well, we're going to go on to the NXT spoilers later, so I'll answer your questions later. But in regards to the 3 matches they had, if you were to alone just rate the last stipulation, the barbed wire steel cage, that was fantastic. It's just the other 2 stipulations I don't think were needed. In all seriousness, I don't think this was their best match. If you just left the last match as its own identity, yes, that was amazing. The other 2, the very first 2 matches, I thought were weaker than the previous encounters.
It's just pure story. I liked it, and it's a good way to close the chapter. That's the best way of saying it. It was a good NXT takeover Toronto too, but the first 3 matches were fantastic.
I'll still have to say that
Still the main event was fantastic, but it was more story filled than their other matches.
Okay, well, that I'll have to agree with as well. But no, regardless, it was still great, and I will still say that Adam Cole match and Gargano probably did steal the whole weekend away. But me personally, the Io Shirai match, best match of the weekend. But before we go on to what else has happened, let's go straight to the main roster with SummerSlam 2019.
Oh, Lord, Jesus Christ, this is going to be long. How about we just like... Damn.
Well, we're not going to go too far deep into all matches. We can't. There was WWE produced way too much wrestling for us, which we didn't watch in the single day.
Do a quick thing. They announced a whole lot of pay-per-views during the actual pay-per-view Clash of Champions, TLC. What was the other ones that they had?
Well, we got Survivor Series, obviously, is going to come up in November.
Yeah, Survivor Series.
Yes. So we do have a lot of pay-per-views coming up. Speaking about Clash of Champions, there is some news to it later on, which I'll get to later. So let's just quickly skim through what we saw for SummerSlam for this year. In the very first pre-show match, it's always the usual tradition of a normal WWE main roster pay-per-view. We had the Cruiserweights kick it off. We had Drew Gulak defend and retain. You're going to hear this a lot over the weekend. Over Oni Lorcan. There we go. Let me botch his name there for a second.
Good old Oni Lorcan, Big Finger Lorcan.
I thought it was a good match. I actually prefer Lorcan though to stay with Danny Burch as a tag team, but it was a good exhibition. It was good to actually get him in a singles match in front of all the crowd for SummerSlam. I thought it was still a good encounter. Good way to kick off SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, great way.
And it was also good for Drew Gulak to
my
retain.
whole premise of it, if people are paying to watch 205 Live, why should they watch the big payoff match for free?
On the pre-show.
Exactly.
You should at least... Yeah, but remember the last time though, they actually had, was it Tony Nese against Davari? That wasn't on the pre-show. That was probably one of the worst choices of a non-pre-show match.
But it was good for what it was.
Yeah. Now, moving on, we actually had Buddy Murphy's main event debut under the Blue SmackDown brand, where he defeated Apollo Crews, but by disqualification.
Because Rowan came out and said it wasn't me. Wasn't my fault.
Get your name out of my gob.
That's it.
So we'll talk more
what
about
else is in your gob? Get it out.
The match was going well until that happened, but in terms of story progression, it's good. A lot happier for Buddy Murphy. He's getting some spotlight.
Exactly. Best kept secret. He's getting told.
But even though the Australian won in that match, speaking about Australians, we had Bliss and Nikki retain and defend the women's tag team titles against the Iconics. I don't really have anything much to say about this.
Nah.
I'll be very biased because, the Iconics, the Australians lost the match. And the whole... Look, the only part of the
They're
match...
going to get it back. They're going to get it back. That's it.
They deserve it. But then, look, all I'm going to say is the only thing I liked about the match was Alexa Bliss dressing up like Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, and savage tweets after it.
Yes, I did enjoy especially Corey Graves burying Alexa Bliss, not even calling her the goddess that much. Now, so going on to the main card, in the very first match, we had the Raw Women's title up for grabs. Becky Lynch against Natalya in a submission match. And obviously, this is in Natalya's hometown in Canada. Wait, is she from Toronto? No,
She's from Canada, so it's technically hometown anyway. It's
No, she's from
hometown
Calgary.
advantage. Because when you had the Iconics come, they're not actually from Melbourne, but at that Super Showdown, I mean the Australia Super Showdown.
Wait,
here.
one's from Melbourne, one's from Sydney.
No. I think it's one from Brisbane, one from Perth.
You sure?
Yeah,
No, I think one's from Sydney.
Yeah, one's not from actual Melbourne, though.
Okay.
Out of the group. And they were saying,
Well, still.
because technically you're in the country. That's what I'm trying to get the
I
proof
actually had a prediction on this match that Natalya was going to get booed. She actually got shit a lot.
Yeah, I thought, here we go, screwjob's going to happen. They're going to make Becky Lynch the new Shawn Michaels.
No, well, the crowd still actually
The
backed a lot of
Heartbreak
Becky.
Man.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Look, good match, good opener. Probably, look, whenever you need Natalya for a good match, she always delivers.
Instead of, whoa, like, whoa, whoa. I'm just a sexy man. Sexy man.
Oh.
I'm with Rollins.
Okay, alright, we're moving on. Goldberg squashed Dolph Ziggler in the second match.
Yeah, we all knew that.
And then Dolph Ziggler didn't want to stay down. He's like, give me more. Goldberg penetrated him at the end.
Vince really fucked him after that match as well, though.
Did he?
Yeah, because Dolph Ziggler had an agreement after SummerSlam and Monday Night Raw. He was going to go do his project. It was like a handshake.
Agreement?
Yeah.
Wait, for comedy stuff or?
Just doing his own project, so he was going to leave for a while.
Yeah.
The minute he came back from Raw, and Vince is like, you know what? I'm just going to pay you to sit at home. Legit, that's what...
Is he actually going to pay to sit at home?
Yeah.
I didn't read that, actually.
He the poor prick. He just copped it.
Yeah, but I don't know if I can believe that, though. Only because the build-up for the Goldberg match was Shawn Michaels. In the actual video package was Shawn Michaels.
So you think of it, this handshake agreement, Vince would have been like, yeah. But now he would have seen all of it come out of it and been like, you know what, Ziggler? And then Ziggler would have been like, what? And he's like, it is you. He's like, nah, it isn't. And he's like, it is. This whole time when you were shouting it, I knew it. It is you.
It should have been him.
It should be you sitting at home as backup.
But did you know you were speaking about events that had been announced for the upcoming months and weeks? Weeks and months, I should say, for the year. They did announce another Saudi Arabia event. You know, the one where they want Eddie Guerrero to appear on the pay-per-view. Anyway,
Isn't that in November?
I think so. I believe they're building up to a Dolph Ziggler-Shawn Michaels match. Because Shawn loves that sweet, sweet Arabian money.
Sweet Saudi cash.
Yeah, and I reckon 110% they're going to have a match for that. They're building slowly for that. I get to see a nice, bold Shawn Michaels and his doppelganger. Now, moving on from that, we had the US title on the line. AJ Styles with his bold little friends in the club, the OGs. And what do you call them? The Oriental Club?
That's it.
Yep, where AJ defeated Ricochet. He was dressed up as Nightwing. What did you think of that match? Even though our stream was buffering pretty badly.
Yeah, Ricochet gave the Origami Club as much as he could. But with their powers combined, they destroyed Ricochet. And Ricochet don't ever wear such attire again.
He's getting ready to perform some stunts for the new 2K20 game, which we'll talk about as well later on.
He looked like he was only missing a sex mask. That's all he was missing. Just a bit of a whip as well.
Yeah, but he's a superhero.
It looked like it was an orgy in the ring. That's what it looked like. I was like, oh no.
So Ricochet's going to grab AJ's head?
Yeah, no.
Hopefully that's the end of the feud. We've actually had some very underwhelming matches between the two. But, maybe in the future, because WWE loves to give us the same garbage over and over. Even if the garbage are fantastic wrestlers.
Oh, it's fantastic. Like before we had Cena running the shop, now we actually have people that we want to watch go at each other. We're just doing friendly banter, but...
We're not ungrateful, promise.
Moving
on now. SmackDown Women's title up for grabs. Bayley retains over Ember Moon. In a match that I was looking forward to, the match ended up with me not caring a single bit. I think Ember needed that win. Honestly needed it. Like, don't get me wrong, Bayley needs to keep her reign going, because she was booked very horrible since she lost the Raw Women's title, but damn. What a match between two faces that I did not care about whatsoever. And match wasn't bad though, but still, God.
Match was alright for what it was. The only issue that I really have with that match is keep adding Velcro and see what happens. Come on, man. Serious.
Alright, well, in a match that actually got myself, you included, your brother as well, and the crowd alive, we had Kevin Owens defeat Shane McMahon in a match where Shane barely did anything.
Kevin Owens was over no tomorrow. He put Natalia's pop to shame. He put everyone's pop to shame.
It was great. The whole thing.
He even put my pop to shame. He shut up.
So that was good. But that feud's not over. You don't beat a McMahon and the feud dies. That doesn't happen. Maybe Vince, because Vince is old. But still in better shape than both of us.
It's not going to happen. We've seen Vince shirtless with Triple H. So, you know what that means? He would have been like, you know what, I really like that sunshine of mine.
Yeah, but... oh, jeez, alright. I don't want to talk more about Vince topless. Moving on now, for the very... See, this is actually good. How many women's matches did we actually have? We had two on the main card, we had one on the pre-show, and for the main event for the women, we had Charlotte Flair versus Trish Stratus, a match like generation versus generation. Trish's return, and I believe her final match now, for SummerSlam.
Charlotte didn't need to beat her,
yes, she did. Yes, she did.
She didn't need to beat her.
Yes, she did.
Trish had the fucking perfect send-off, but no.
Yeah, but Trish already had a perfect send-off.
Flair go over. I don't like it one bit. Now, since she's copping the Al Eagle, it makes her that overrated. It's not that she... You know what?
Yeah, but Andrade winning would be actually overrated since he's dating Charlotte. But think about it. Trish Stratus beat Lita, I think it was Unforgiven 2006, in a retirement match to win her 7th women's title. She already had a good retirement. She didn't need to win this. Charlotte did. Charlotte's the future and the present.
Charlotte's going to go up to Becky and be like, listen, you bring your man and I'll bring my Al Eagle, and we'll see who's more tranquilo.
If you see, you've got certain wrestlers, they've either always got the title. If they don't have the title, they're in a big storyline. You've got your Roman Reigns, you got your Seth Rollins, your AJ Styles, your Kevin Owens, and your Charlotte. She's in the same category. If she's not holding a title, she's in a big storyline where she wins.
That's it.
And that's how things are. Moving on, for the WWE World Title, we had Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. The match was going well until they ended up in a double countout because Randy Orton wanted to say hi to Kofi's family.
You don't mess with a guy's family, because we saw how AJ got so angry because of how Samoa Joe yelled the restaurant franchise into the camera.
Well, yeah, with Wendy, with Joe calling out Wendy. It's actually ironic, because Wrestling with Regret actually mentioned that as well, saying that it's ironic that a year after SummerSlam to a SummerSlam, it's the same stuff. But I understand why they did it. They're doing it to obviously build a feud, because Randy's taking that belt. I don't care.
He's going to call his son stupid.
Yes, from one generation to another. Actually, there was a rumor that... I'll get to later. When we get to the main
move out of the way, Kofi, with his 11 hard years of Trouble in Paradise, will accidentally kick his kid. And then he'll be like, oh no, what did I do? You're making me mad. I don't know. RKO, when he's like, oh, this is the finish. Nah, he lines him up for a punt. Kofi moves, he gets the kid. And it's like, that's all my fault. Kofi gives him in the RKO, lines him up for the punt, Randy moves. Just kidding. The kid's not taking all these bumps.
No, the kid's going to be too busy up the grubs on a ladder match, just like Eddie and Ray with Dominic. Moving on, we had this wasn't the best match, but it was the best entrance, the best re-debut of a character in Bray Wyatt squashing Finn Balor. Bray Wyatt came out as the Fiend. He had a new rock melody of his old theme song. He came out with a lantern of his old head, and it was amazing.
I'd let him in for coffee, for sure.
Look, it was so good that after this, we actually bought a Bray Wyatt mask. Oh, a Fiend mask. It was great.
And the fucking Bray Wyatt box got sold out in 3 hours.
The boxes sold out. The master sell out. Everything. He's selling like hotcakes. And I believe they're not going to put him on television often to keep the mystique and not
That's
kill the
it.
character. Like, you know, Aleister Black on SmackDown
He's
is
gonna
not on
be
every week.
He's gonna be like another Undertaker.
Special attraction.
That's it.
Keep him like that because
It's the opposite effect. Aleister Black was the Undertaker, but he's not as pushed as Bray Wyatt. That's like a cane.
Well,
They took off his mask and then slapped him back with the mask.
well, look, it's well deserving of Bray Wyatt. They potentially can't fuck it up. They can't. I hope they don't fuck it up. But look, so far so good. You know, keep the mystique around him. Don't put him on Raw and SmackDown. If you do, maybe just for a few eps of Firefly Funhouse. Now, I'm assuming now that Finn Balor's gone now, I think he's going on his little vacay, isn't he?
I would after that.
But see, here's a great thing though, because WWE gets very boring and repetitive because it's the same stuff every week, and it's an overflow. It's way too much, and we're getting bored of it. Now, the reason why Bray Wyatt doesn't come off as that is because it's refreshing. We don't see him as often.
Exactly.
That's why when I actually
Yeah, people chant, "This is awesome" after the entrance.
Yeah, that's what you want. Honestly, that's what you want. But now, moving on to the main event, in the only title that changed hands during the whole weekend, Seth freaking Rollins is now a 2-time Universal, 4-time World Champion by defeating the Beast. He slayed the Beast in Brock Lesnar. I am very happy about that. We got that prediction wrong, though. We thought it was going to be a Brock squash.
I wanted it to be a Brock squash so bad. I wanted Seth to cop every punishment out there, but Seth had to win, didn't he?
Well, look at it like this. We all thought that Roman was the golden boy of WWE. I believe this whole time it was really Seth. You could say Vince was backing Roman and Triple H was backing Seth. I feel as if Vince and Triple H have both agreed that it's not Roman, it's Seth.
I don't want it to be Seth. No.
Seth is cash as a heel.
No.
As a face, he's still good.
Yuck!
Look, okay. Who else do you even have as a face? Who else do you want right now as champion?
Bobby Lashley.
Go
It
face.
should have been Bobby Lashley beating Brock Lesnar. People would have been behind Bobby Lashley. Absolutely wrecking Brock.
But if you... Yeah.
And then it's believable for someone like Seth to beat Bobby Lashley.
Well, I wouldn't say that exactly, but more believable than a Brock Lesnar. Yes, I'll agree with that. Alright, so that was everything from NXT and for SummerSlam. Now, we are talking about a lot of WWE. Let's just continue the WWE train. We might as well until we move on to like the other news of other promotions. So on Raw, I'm very perplexed. AJ Styles, after Raw, has challenged Braun Strowman to a US title match for next week. Now, I know, without breaking kayfabe, why in God's name would you want to challenge a big man like that for the title up for grabs?
You've got two boys, why wouldn't you?
But then apparently though, this is from Mr. 5 Stars, Davey in the Tokyo Dome Meltzer has said that apparently in Clash of Champions it's going to be Braun versus Seth Rollins. Now I'm more perplexed. Seth beating Brock was a reset to get him over because the whole Becky Lynch storyline kind of killed him off a lot of his momentum. Now you're trying to make him the face, but you're putting him against Braun. Is this going to be when Braun turned heel against Roman? Are they doing that again? Because Braun was there for SummerSlam.
Braun's going to be a monster. He's going to go after every belt.
Okay, but he hasn't. Wait, no, he's a former Raw Tag Team Champion with Nicholas, sorry. And he hasn't even won the 21st. He should have just slammed Maria.
And then once he beats AJ, he's going to be like, I'm coming after those United States Tag Team belts.
Champ versus champ. Oh, don't say that.
And they're going to unify United States Universal.
Moving on from Raw, you actually have Elias as the new 24/7 champion. But before that, though, you actually had the Revival beat R-Truth. R-Truth beat the Revival. And now Elias has got the title back now. Elias is now a 3-time champion. And actually, R-Truth is now a 12-time champion for the 24/7 title.
It won't be long until R-Truth starts thinking he's Ric Flair. You can see this from a mile away.
Yep, he just needs... Well, he actually believes he's tied Ric Flair's record, actually. But if he gets 4 more, or if he can actually make it 22, then he's actually really tied Ric Flair's
He's
record.
going to be the most time champion without winning an actual major belt.
But you know what I loved? I love how Drake Maverick always gets a pop. It makes me
yeah.
so happy. Honestly, it makes me
Even the
happy.
meet and greets, they go full crazy about it. I love it.
Now, I'm not sure, but Raw and SmackDown, I believe, was still in Canada for the taping.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, okay, so so first of all, I have to appreciate Bobby Roode actually being on television. And he actually beat, No Way Jose.
Yep.
Can that be a reset on Bobby Roode? Honestly, the man's getting wasted like EC3. Not as bad, but still wasted. This was a former NXT World Champion that you've done nothing with.
And Raw Tag Team Champion.
Oh, don't. That wasn't a push. That was a consolation prize.
Hey, that was Glorious Gable. That's what that was.
That was actually horrible. I'm actually hoping they put the reset button. Bobby Roode can be a nice heel heavyweight on the Raw brand. Honestly.
Oh, yeah.
What a waste of potential. But now, speaking about a waste of potential, though, your favourites returned back in Sasha Banks. She took out Natalya. Then she further took out Becky Lynch. She took off the wig as well. She's got blue hair.
I knew she had a wig all along.
I didn't. I thought it was purple until I actually...
Listen, I don't care about Sasha Banks. I honestly do not give a absolute stuff. Not one shred of respect I have towards a legit sook. This is what's happening. Yeah? Sasha Banks, she comes back, gets straight into the title picture. But who does she attack? Becky Lynch, the man. Fair enough, Becky Lynch is like, I want all comers. But you're going to slam us with the same thing after we keep saying it's repetitive. You're going to put Sasha back in that title scene. How about no? How about she just goes after people, just destroys them like a backstage? What if it was her trying to destroy Roman all along?
Sorry?
Something out of character for Sasha. But she comes back, she's like, no. The purple means nice. And the blue means mean.
Okay, look. I know you don't like Sasha Banks. I honestly love her. I would love if she beats Becky Lynch. I'd be so happy. But if she beats Becky, how about she retains it at least once?
What's up, man? No, that's a rabbit.
Yeah, it's a rabbit. No,
that's a rabbit.
No, I know what type of animal you're trying to reference, but let's just move on from that before you get too offensive. Now, also on Raw, it was announced... Well, first of all, this is kind of very old, but let's pay our respects to Harley Race. First of all, rest in peace.
That's it.
We should have actually started it with that. But Harley Race, one of the best all-time heel wrestlers. I believe Triple H is very heavily influenced, and Triple H is one of my favorites.
Harley Race was probably one of the greatest NWA World's Champions I've ever seen. Like, I watched the old tapes of my grandparents. Like, I actually have an old tape there, and even had Abdullah the Butcher match. That's the first time I got introduced to him licking a fork like an absolute loony bin.
With his hepatitis.
But the way that he carried the belt, way that he carried himself, it was royalty at its finest, and him giving that king character, he always nailed it, and he was a perfect heel.
And what about that facial hair? Triple H did justice, but Harley Race is the innovator.
Harley Race with that blonde, short, curly hair. You knew, when you look at someone like Harley Race, just the sheer size and how... You knew that he was somewhat of a world championship caliber, and Harley Race was a good wrestler, even though he got Tony Atlas to carry his bags.
Let's get off the racism. We've already spoken about Kofi Kingston, 11 years stupid, and his son getting punt.
That's it.
A lot of people will cite Ric Flair as the greatest heel of all time. No, I'll say Harley Race.
Ric Flair, no way.
But still, love Ric Flair. Loved your work in Evolution, my man.
Yeah, because it was Triple H.
Exactly right. It's always Triple H. Now, on Raw, we was actually announced the return of the King of the Ring. I can't remember the last one. Honestly, King of the Ring has been irrelevant for years. But so far for King of the Ring, we've got representing Raw, we have The Miz, Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, Samoa Joe, Drew McIntyre, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro. On the blue brand, the SmackDown brand, we've got Kevin Owens, Ali, Apollo Crews, Chad Gable, Elias Andrade, Buddy Murphy, and Shelton Benjamin. I have one problem. Look at who I mentioned for Raw. Then look who I mentioned for SmackDown. Now, if a Raw wrestler wins this, are you going to be stunned at all?
No.
Alright, is Shelton Benjamin going to win it?
King Shelton has a good ring to it, but it's not happening.
Is Buddy Murphy going to win it?
The best kept secret is going to keep a secret.
Is Elias going to win it?
No.
Ali.
Sadly, no.
Chad Gable.
I would be over the moon if he did, but no.
Now, the only people that looks like they're going to win it is Kevin Owens on the SmackDown brand and Andrade. There's one problem with Kevin Owens. I can see it.
King Owens, King.
There's one problem with Kevin Owens. He'll get screwed over. You know this.
Because they can't do King, Kevin, King. You know what?
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, moving on.
That's why he's not in the Hall
I know who it's going to be. It's King Cesaro.
It's King Ricochet. He already wears the crown.
I'm telling you, it's going to be King Cesaro.
Alright, so your prediction is going to be Cesaro for this?
Has to be, because this is the thing. Cesaro is a freaking amazing talent, and he's missing something out of that bar. Yeah, you know he is.
Yeah.
And it's either McIntyre, like McIntyre doesn't need it. He's a psychopath.
McIntyre needs to beat Seth Rollins.
Yeah, but he yells into the spotlight. He's got his own little thing going on. But Cesaro needs that king thing, and he can have his own little minions.
Because look, we know Sami Zayn's not going to win. The man gets buried on a weekly
Yeah,
basis.
not happening.
Baron Corbin's already had his spotlight. Look, Baron Corbin actually would be nice. He would be
King
nice.
Corbin.
King,
Yeah.
okay, because does he already have X-Pac heat? Yes or no?
Yes, he does.
Would it not carry on if you encourage it by him winning it? I am actually, you know what? I actually think Baron Corbin will be the best choice, but he won't win it. Samoa Joe's not going to win it. He's too busy not attacking Roman Reigns backstage. Cedric Alexander's going to get killed. Ricochet, I have a strong feeling the Miz is irrelevant since he's turned face.
Exactly right.
But, okay, so let's go for early predictions. You've gone Cesaro, I've gone Ricochet. That means SmackDown, sorry, you're not coming any close to it.
Yeah.
Okay, now speaking about Buddy Murphy, we actually saw his SmackDown debut against Roman Reigns. A lot of people are actually saying that Roman Reigns buried him. I think they're idiots. That was not a burying. That was a Buddy Murphy showcase.
Exactly, and he even grabbed his chin and gave a bit of the nod. That means that, yeah, he might get another match in 2 years.
Maybe on Superstars. Wait, no, sorry, it's main event now. Not Velocity, not Heat, not Shotgun. Now, speaking about Buddy Murphy as well, he got attacked.
Put him on Velocity.
You can't put him back on 2. Nah, he could be 205 again. You actually saw him as well. He got belted by Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan. Oh, well, Eric Rowan, I should say. They're still going with the storyline that it wasn't Daniel Bryan and it wasn't Rowan. It could be somebody else. I'm going to put a shit prediction here. Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan to verse Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns at the next pay-per-view.
I could say that from a mile away, but the attacker will show his true identity, and it might even be Luke Harper.
Okay, do you remember the last time where the last attacker scene was done? It was Enzo and Cass. No, it's not Cass. It's not Cass. Wait, shit, it was Cass. Okay, and now it's like it's not Rowan. It's not Rowan. Yeah, shit, it's Rowan by Daniel Bryan.
But Cass had a pretty shit storyline.
Cass?
He would attack himself.
Okay. At least in this case, Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan have more self-respect. It was Enzo's fault that he got me over, but he held me back that I wasn't a tag team champion.
Exactly, so it's not going to be that stupid.
It's not going to be that stupid, but it's still pretty bad. Speaking about bad in Roman Reigns, he is actually on the cover of 2K20 with Becky Lynch. I am so upset. Okay, you already put Seth Rollins through a lot of shit by putting him with Becky in the storyline, but you can't give the man with his man on the cover, but you put the dog on there instead, so it's the man and his dog, not the man with the man.
Man's best friend.
It's the man with his best friend. That is the worst decision for a cover. And you know what was even worse? People are saying, Becky Lynch isn't the first woman on the cover. They said 2K. Are you dense?
I know, yeah.
They're not talking about Day of Reckoning. They're not talking about SmackDown vs. Raw or WWE SmackDown. No, you idiots. The 2K series.
I don't like it.
But do you like how The Fiend is the first DLC character?
Yeah, but why add more zombie characters? I don't like it.
What? Yeah, but you love the Demon King there. You can't wait until he comes back when Balor returns.
When Finn Balor returns, then I know that either one of them's getting buried proper. But anyway, moving
Finishing off with WWE, we're going back to the yellow brand in NXT. You saw a bunch of new signings. You had, what was her name? Brittany in Impact?
Brittany in Impact, Santana Garrett, she's former NWA World Women's Champion.
Oh, was she?
Yes.
Wait, was this after Jazz vacated it?
Could have been, but oh yeah, I think it was.
Okay, well, we'll have to double check with that. But more importantly, Austin Theory is now joined. Okay, you've been following him for quite some time. I have bits and pieces, but I saw him more for the Evolve special. Wait, who did he beat? That blue collar.
He reminds me of that jock that was always popular in a university or even high school, like college frat. That's what his character, not his character, just the way that he carries himself, even with the backwards cap type of thing. So it's going to be very interesting. Is it going to be an NXT Fury type of thing?
But it's actually terrifying.
NX Fury. NXT Fury? Oh, I'm not.
But look, it's actually terrifying that the kid's only 22. And he's already
I look
damn
like
good.
that when I was that age. I am that age.
Don't make me pull out the scrapbook with your little banana photo.
Listen.
But
When
look,
have I ever had a little banana?
when you're born.
Get it
Moving on. Austin Theory, he's going to be the new Adam Cole. He's going to take over. He's going to be a big, big star. And speaking about NXT, I told you about spoilers. What did you say about Gargano? That he was finished with NXT? You would be wrong. You're wrong.
Because he even got the goodbyes and everything after the NXT takeover with William Regal.
He went to actually announce that he's staying with NXT. Shane Flynn said, "Look, Matt, we don't need you." He just finished him off. He writes in the air NXT and says 4 life. So if you weren't sick of Johnny Gargano, be very, very happy. The man's going to stay even longer now. What's your thoughts on that, though?
I don't like it. He should have just gone to the main roster now. Like, I know it's bad to say, but they've still got unfinished business with Ciampa, so I'm guessing he's going to stay there for that reason.
And then what? Both of them hit the main roster at the same time once he comes back from his injury?
Yeah, and then they'll probably redo the whole DIY, and then they're going to turn on each other again.
Now, previously we mentioned that the former ACH in Jordan Miles won the Breakout Tournament. He actually cashed it in on a Mr. Adam Cole. In the recent tapings, he lost to Adam Cole, but is there a better way to debut the man, though? Honestly.
It was good debuting him, and he beat what's it called? Adam Cole straight away.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, he didn't beat Adam Cole, but he went for Adam Cole straight away. But
that's a good run.
You can't just go straight for the NXT champion after he went for that hot streak like that. You should have gone for someone like a North American or someone. It was still alright. It was a good showing for Jordan Miles, I guess, for him to cash it in there. But he should have kept it a bit longer with that power that he had on.
Well, I don't think there was any rush. It would have been nice for the North American, but think about it. Realistically speaking, if you had a chance for any title, of course you're going to NXT World.
Of course, but I'm going to hold it on. I'm not going to just cash it in straight away. Even though he did have an extreme match, so it was kind of good timing, but I don't know.
Now, for the other titles, there was progression. We actually have a new challenger, Rhea Ripley. Because Mia Yim was offered to join the Four Horsewomen. She said no. She tries to fight. She gets taken out. You would assume it's all over. Now, Rhea Ripley's come out saying that now she wants a title chance. For the spoilers, she lost by disqualification a women's title match, but now they're going to push this match. What's your thoughts on that? Another Australian
I'm very happy because Rhea Ripley was a dominant NXT UK Women's Champion, and having her up against Shayna will be fantastic because Rhea's not a small girl.
No, she's not. The former Pete Dunne will do well.
That's it.
I actually don't like those comparisons. Now, we mentioned before about Pete Dunne, he got pinned, which means Strong's still in the running. Velveteen Dream says on the spoilers that the spotlight's on him. After Velveteen retained over the Connor Reeves? Yeah? It's sad how he stopped getting his push. Maybe he wasn't that good looking. Anyway, after that, the couch that Velveteen was sitting on has now been burnt by Roderick Strong. So now, have you seen the trend with Velveteen during his storylines? About that he wants to be acknowledged? You know, he wants to be this and that, and now the feud's going to continue over a burning couch.
Yes.
But do you like how...
I've had feuds over jackets before, so I don't...
Yeah, but do you enjoy that how horrible these things sound, his cash? And it always works?
And he will always make it work, because the way that he carries himself, he believes that that's the most important thing at the time, so of course it's going to work.
And I'm going to continue with my former prediction here. I honestly God believe that Roderick Strong is going to take that title.
Yeah.
There's
no doubt that Roderick Strong is actually going to take it.
But speaking about the Undisputed, last but not least, we have now the new tag team champions in the Undisputed era who have defeated the Street Profits, who will most likely now be doing their shtick permanently on Raw. We didn't see it for NXT TakeOver Toronto 2. We saw it on the spoilers instead. They're gone.
I honestly think they'll have one more final match, and then that's it, because the NXT, I think their rematch clause still counts.
Oh, usually, yeah. Yeah, okay, yeah, no, I can see that. No, I can definitely see that. No, that's still good. But now, moving on now, I think that's a lot of WWE. I don't know how long we'll be talking about WWE and NXT for.
43 minutes.
That's a lot of WWE to cover. Alright, let's go to the independents now. What do you think about Joey Ryan's viral video? Who did he face in the match?
He always makes viral videos. I forgot the lady's name that he was in a match with, but it was a usual Joey Ryan match.
And somehow went viral.
He got viral.
So it wasn't anything different?
It wasn't anything too crazy, too drastic. It was a usual Joey Ryan shtick.
Like grabbing the boobies, touch my dick,
and all that.
He lost to a woman.
Type of thing, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, let's move on to back to the promotions now. We haven't mentioned Ring of Honor whatsoever yet. So I feel as if it's only good to say, let's bring up that the Briscoe brothers, for Honor for All, will be defending against the Rock and Roll Express.
It'll be a Ring of No One soon, because no one will ever be there.
It's just getting worse and worse. They are not saving themselves. It is getting really, really bad. I've got nothing to say. And the other worst part is the photo was the Rock and Roll Express 30 to 40 years ago. So do you have a prediction for Ring of Honor, what's happening with their future? It looks very dark.
They're going to go in debt.
It's not looking well. At a company that we did thought was going to go in debt with Impact Wrestling, we got it wrong. Sami Callihan's the new number one contender for the world title. He'll be facing, well, if Brian Cage retains it or not.
Cage will retain.
And I believe Sami Callihan will.
Even though OVE Callahan is the only one to actually pin Brian Cage when they had that 6-man, remember, with OVE. So,
oh, yeah.
But I don't think Sami Callihan will be the one to take the world belt.
Callahan's been in Impact for a while. I think this is finally his time to become world champion.
I reckon it would have been Tessa if she said yes to staying there. I reckon she only
You think she's
lost
leaving?
because I reckon she's going to appear in this All Elite Casino Battle Royale.
Oh, for the women's title.
Yeah, I reckon it's going to be them.
Well, think about it. Unless your name is Charlotte Flair, I honestly got to think that Tessa Blanchard's the best women's wrestler in the world right now.
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Now, still talking about Impact Wrestling, LAX, they are leaving. Where are they going?
Oh, there's only one proper conclusion to this, and that is Ring of Honor. Just kidding.
Oh, good
They're going
Lord.
All Elite.
So you don't think they're going to go to the yellow brand at NXT?
Oh, no. I don't reckon.
Well, AEW, even though they they do have the best tag team roster in the world today. They put a lot of emphasis on
They've
tag
got a
team
lot
wrestling.
of people.
They do, but I don't think I'll heard it. They put LAX. Imagine LAX against the Lucha Bros.
But they need to close the gates straight after that and not take anyone else in.
Oh yeah. We'll get to AEW a bit later. Let's just focus on what's happening in New Japan. Kota Ibushi. He's won the G1 Climax for 2019,
He's won all
beating
the
Jay
tournaments.
Switchblade White.
He's won all the tournaments except the tag team ones.
Wait, he hasn't. Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Juniors, the one with the crown on it.
The Jake, is it?
Not J Cup.
Super Juniors.
You have the Super Juniors, then the one with the crown on it. There's a lot of trophies in.
They've got a lot of tournaments.
A lot of them.
Maybe that's why the King of the Ring's coming back.
Yeah, but apparently Vince is a fan of tournaments.
And what was it? It was on the same night that Kenta's now joined the Bullet Club. You know more about this than me.
Yeah.
So what actually happened? He was in a 6-man match.
He turned on Shibata after Shibata actually ripped out a couple wrestling moves, surprisingly. So, I don't know what's going to happen. Is Shibata actually going to come for like a 5-minute match even though he's really stuffed? But
I have no idea.
Kenta joining Bullet Club, it's a smart move.
So they lost Robbie Eagles on, and now they got Kenta on.
And now Robbie Eagles is calling out Kenta.
Because now Robbie Eagles is in Chaos last time I checked.
Yes.
It does suit him a lot more. Bullet Club
of
was
course.
refreshing though. I don't know, but do you know Dave Meltzer, what he actually said? I hate to keep bringing up his name, but he said this was the best storyline in the last 30 years of professional wrestling. So you're going to ignore about Hogan joining the NWO?
Dave Meltzer really loves his Japan wrestling. That's all I'm going to say.
That's probably why, if you didn't know this, do you know for the Gargano match, the 3 Stages of Hell match against Adam Cole, he only rated it 4 stars. He rated the Io Shirai match 4.25. So higher.
He's really mentally stuffed in the brain.
Yes, he is. Now, we did actually bring up about AEW. I usually bring up for a separate segment about Chuck E. T's tweet of the week. This has gone into the news section. Chuck E. T, do you take his tweet seriously?
No.
Is he always sarcastic?
Yes.
He puts up a particular tweet recently. It was for us on the 14th of August, 13th in America. He puts down, I went to Riberia. Yes.
No, it's not Riberia. It's Ribera Steakhouse.
The Japanese steakhouse with goddamn Okada, and they didn't give me one of those coats that place. Can suck one. First of all, that would have been the tweet of the week regardless, because I find it hilarious. Do you know who didn't find it hilarious? Dave Bautista. Batista replies back by saying, my friend, I offered this advice in incomplete sincerity. Delete this tweet immediately. Our history and tradition with that place is something that's beyond your years. I'm asking you not to disrespect that over a jacket you didn't receive. So someone took this a little bit serious. Someone didn't detect the sarcasm in Chuck E. T's tweet, which should be tweet of the week, and Chuck E. T actually deleted it. If I was Chuck E. T, I would have left that fucking tweet.
It's Dave Bautista. You don't want Dave Bautista after you.
You're going to be scared of a big bald man with a nose piercing.
He'll come with the Guardians.
That's horrible. That's horrible. But yeah, that's all I have for the news and for my boy Chucky Tweet. Oh, Chucky Tweet, wow. And I think he should never delete the tweet.
That's what you have?
That's all I have.
Alright.
Unless you want me to go another 45 minutes of WWE.
Nah, that ended up being like 47 minutes of WWE reviewing on 2 pay-per-views. Now, let's get more WWE things out of the way.
Here we go.
We are onto our Revitalize section, which is where we put 5 points on how we'll get a person over back to relevancy. That's why it's called Revitalize.
Yes.
Last week we had none other than
Mr. Nowhere Jose.
exactly right. This episode we have Chad Gable.
Chad Gable.
We have Chad Gable.
Alright, okay, so Chad Gable hasn't been hot since he hit the main roster. Actually, no. When he went SmackDown, he was actually great.
No, he won the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, American Alpha.
But then, did they lose to the Usos, was it?
Or something or other.
As soon as they lost the belts, or was it the White family? I can't remember. They lost to someone stupid, or they beat the White family, God knows. Ever since they lost the titles and went downhill because, what was the other one? Jason Jordan.
Yes.
He was revealed as Kurt Angle's son.
Next Generation, great.
Which we thought Chad Gable was the son the whole time. So as soon as Chad Gable wasn't the son of Kurt Angle, he's gone downhill. He's won the Raw Tag Team titles of Bobby Roode, but he's still trash. But the sad thing is, he's a great wrestler.
Yeah.
And he can cut a good promo as well. He's actually a hidden gem. And he actually performed well on 205 recently, but to continue going on, how would you bring up his career back?
Have him the one that attacked Roman.
Straight off the bat.
Straight off the bat, because why was he taking down all these notes?
Ooh, that's good.
And that would be a good way to put it, but as you know, WWE won't put him behind attacking Roman Reigns. But if he was to attack Roman Reigns, saying that I should be in a position that you are, and then they fight over relevancy that way. Another way is having him on 205 after, even though he's already on 205, have Drew Gulak beat everyone, or have Drew Gulak do an open challenge to where Chad Gable comes out and just obliterates him.
You see mainly with 205 Live. You saw mainly the champions of Mid-Flippity. I know there are exceptions, like Akira's not that much into it, and you got Brian Kendrick. And then obviously you got Enzo, who can't do any wrestling whatsoever. But they've gone into it now where you have, Drew Gulak as a champion. That's not his style. He's more the hard-hitting submission stuff, yeah? You've got him doing all that, but now Chad Gable, yeah? Chad fucking Gable. He is such a fantastic wrestler, yeah? He can actually be pushed to the moon with his technical wrestling. That would be refreshing for the Purple brand.
Yeah, or you can even push him as a heel, Chad Gable, and have him, you know how United States Championships used to do open challenges? Have him do that, but like his own version of the masterpiece, where he gives him a submission and makes him tap.
Well, you could give him the ankle lock.
Could give him the ankle lock, recycle a finisher, and slap it on him. Those are 3 points so far.
Wait, 3. You said 205 in Roman Reigns. That's 2 points.
That's 2 points, and this one's the open challenge one. Open challenge Gable.
Another Kurt Angle reference. I love this.
Another open challenge Gable type of thing, where he comes out, like, not off the middle or anything, saying that I'm going to prove that I'm the best type of thing. And have him...
Just have a showcase.
Just showcase every week.
Like a John Cena type
until he has a decent feud with Apollo Crews. Talking about Apollo Crews, what about him and Apollo Crews in a tag team?
Oh, I think you're cheating. I think Apollo Crews is going to be a future revitalized. But yeah, continue though.
No, think of it. Him and Apollo have amazing technical ability. I know it's bad slapping him with another person that probably had the same ethnicity as the next generation.
It's actually the 3rd time.
But having him with Apollo Crews and pushing him as heels type of thing and being like, no, we've had enough type of, yeah, we'll attack you. And just have him for henchmen would be great. But then I'm trying to think of the one last point that would absolutely get into the status of a either mid-card or WWE thing, and that is none other than Mr. Money in the Bank Gable.
You're pushing that for Money in the Bank.
Yes.
I think it's a big, bit of a big step, isn't it?
Him having the Money in the Bank and then shoving that down everyone's throat.
Like a Daniel Bryan type.
Whenever he comes to the ring,
he'll
be like, you know, I can cash this at any time because I'm always ready.
You could just say that if he wins a mid-card title, that can happen too.
That's it. Just keep having him yell it down their throats and have him more, you know how he's got those boots that like type of country style?
Yeah.
Have him type of, strong, not cowboy, but kind of resembling type of that stuff. Just his attire-wise.
But then hear me out. I do have my own input in this. How about you put him back to NXT? How about you grab one of Kurt Angle's children? How about if you call them American Alpha? They win
Or-
the tag team titles and they
Or
get a
we
main
scrap
roster.
that and you call him Big Money Gable.
Oh no.
He has glasses on,
Oh no.
comes out in a suit
Oh no.
with women,
Oh god.
and says, I'm the hottest thing going. I'm this and that. And have him as a proper heel arsehole. Heel Gable.
You know how I imagine that? He's got a baggy suit. He's got the Paul Heyman type of phone, the big blockers
Yep.
at the antenna. Like a Tom Cruise type.
And all his promos is him driving in like a Corvette with the wind blowing through his hair and all that type of stuff.
Imagine him in EC3 as a...
Oh,
Now that's
there
cash.
you go. The Cash Collective.
Would you say full of cash?
No, not full of cash. I'm trying to see. The Cult of Cash Kids. Cock or something. I don't know. Something or other like
And
that.
Drake Maverick is the manager.
That's it. And they pee their pants.
Oh, not in the Corvette.
Then I reckon that's the 5 points that we had for Chad Gable.
Well,
to get him
let's
over.
say 6.5 points.
Six
for
and a
Chad
half
Gable.
points. We did it the last time for him. So open challenge Gable, slap him in a tag team as a heel with a polo. Then you have none other than him being Mr. Money in a Bank Gable.
Him missed the 205 cable.
Yeah, exactly. Just destroying constantly. But have him like the Brock.
The Bronco 205.
Yeah.
Like, that would actually be good.
And
You
then,
can make him as a main event tier type of wrestler.
and then the other one have him attack Roman.
Wait, imagine that. He doesn't appear on 205 Live. He only comes to pay-per-views only. He's the king of the pre-show.
That's it. He rocks up
Wait.
to SmackDown with the Cruiserweight belt.
Just imagine then, because Drake Maverick's was the GM, yeah? Imagine then he goes, look, I deserve better. I will not defend the title unless you put my matches on the main card.
That's it.
So far, either that or him in a tag team with EC3 wearing baggy suits and the block phones.
Even that would freaking work. Then, I think that's Revitalize all done for us.
I think that's a lot better than No Way Jose. You can't do much of No Way Jose. That's a no way. Just release him.
No way, you need to shave his head, put him with the Office of Pain. No.
Was he the one that eats the pin like an Xavier Woods?
No, we're not going into that. Alright, now we're up to none other than the infomercial part. So we've hit 57 minutes, and I think last week we had Jeff Jarrett's car wash. And now this week we have... Well, we can't use his actual name because it's actually trademarked.
He's done
Believe it or
Stone
not.
Cold Steve Austin there, hasn't he?
That's it. He's actually proper trademarked his name and that.
Oh, he's worth a lot of money these days,
So
isn't he?
we're calling in his older brother. We're calling him Rye Guy. And we've got Rye Guy on the phone here, and he's going to be advertising his new app that he's got.
Oh, Lord
Have you
Jesus.
heard of his app?
No, I last saw him where he pushed the fat woman into water.
Alright. Now, let's listen to Rye Guy's Cupid dating app.
Oh, no.
Bum, bum, bam. You have to do the whole bum, bum, bam.
Bum,
I reckon.
bum, bum.
You gotta move in a bit more because we gotta get this.
Alright, why not? Why not?
You gotta keep composure as well.
Alright,
Because- Love me more. Love me more. Hey, this is Rye Guy coming at you with his brand new dating app, Ryback's Cupid. Don't be stupid and download Ryback's Cupid. Love rules. There
That's
you
how
go.
he puts his meat on the table, yeah?
Yes, that's it.
Oh, Jesus.
Your only purpose is to hump the strong.
Thank you for not saying weak. That's rape, though.
Oh no, yeah, we can't do that. So that was that was Rye Guy's dating app.
I don't want to see that, but I'd like to see more of him in the future.
Alright, he will have actual proper videos coming out sooner or rather.
Oh, a bit of a teaser.
Now, onto the main subject of actually why we came to start this Wrestling Bombshell episode 2. Last week we had wrestling's top 5 conspiracies, and that caused a lot of controversy, as someone even
Did it?
commented on the video saying, I'm not watching this after you're saying AEW are bad people.
Wait, really? So
Yeah, and said that WWE have been doing some treacherous things in the past, and I had to let him know. I'm like, listen, we're not just doing stuff on WWE, not AEW, sorry. We're not doing stuff specifically on AEW and dragging a name through the mud. It's just AEW Illuminati was the most convincible conspiracy at that time. But this top 5 we're having is purely top 5 wrestlers I would have represent us and the universe as Power Rangers.
Oh,
and
my
color
God.
coded them for that reasoning as well. So I'm trying to go with the whole Mighty Morphin Power Ranger color base.
So the red, the yellow, the blue,
Just the
pink,
5.
black. So no green.
No green,
No
but
white.
for the thumbnail, we'll add Vince McMahon as well.
Oh, that's disgusting.
But really, I reckon Stone Cold would be the Alpha.
I
No,
reckon-
he wouldn't be the Alpha. He would be the Zordon, and Alpha would be the Rock.
What are you talking about? He beat the Rita. Maybe Lord Zed.
That's it, and Lord Zed would be the Rock. Anyway,
jeez.
so the 5 Power Rangers that I've chosen, that's going to be told for the first time to Les for him to have the bit of the shock effect.
Because I'm a
As-
big Power Ranger fan.
As a Mighty Morphin Blue Power Ranger, I would have as the Blue Power Ranger, none other is the one and only Ricochet,
Alright, stop right there. Why Ricochet?
because he does a lot of thinking before his matches. He always
Thinking?
overcomes.
Wait, are you getting confused with thinking and fingering?
No, he always overcomes sticky situations and.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
All right, he overcomes the odds. All right, and
More than
we've
one
seen
thing,
that, and he's represented the United States. He's a good person to build up and eventually become a good Red Ranger. And having him as that Blue Ranger would be fantastic. You can't say him as a Blue Ranger. You can't see it.
I can see him as a Power Ranger because he does a flippity.
But can you see him as a red?
No.
Can you see him as a black?
Yes, I can actually.
You can see him as a Black Ranger.
Yeah, do you know why? Do you know why I said that for? Because black was the more athletic one. They're the little dance moves.
Yeah.
Ricochet suits more of a black, but they're the blue. Blue is the more geeky type. Like, I know Xavier
But
Woods.
Ricochet is very geeky though.
No. Do you know who's geeky? It should be Xavier Woods should be the Blue Ranger.
Ooh, could be.
I know Xavier Woods wants to be black, the Black Ranger. I know that, but he suits blue more better though.
Just because characteristic.
and he's dorky
So
as
you're
hell. It
saying
suits.
Ricochet is Blue Ranger?
I'm saying no. I'm saying
right.
if you said black, I would have gave you it, hands down. But since I said black, who's the Black Ranger?
We're going Black Ranger, none other than former Mustafa Ali. Now his name just Ali.
Ooh, I've already given
I've
my,
only carried the match this because of the whole Adam. Remember how Adam was
the whole racism
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's why it was good he didn't say Xavier Woods, even though he's campaigning to be it.
Exactly.
Look, Ali. Yeah, like out of everyone
whole
else.
thing chased the light of that. He's a.
See, Ali,
it's perfect. That's
Ali
Black
would be a Red Ranger and a Disney's Power Ranger spin-off.
Yeah.
But look, Black Ranger though, like if you have to pick him, if you have to, at least he suits. Because like you know, how I mentioned the athletic part. He flips.
That's it. He's,
And you
so
know,
what do you say? Him as the Black Ranger?
I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I'll give you
Ali's
that one.
Black Ranger.
Yeah.
Now we're going to move on to the female color ones.
Yes.
I went out of WWE for this one.
Okay. Yeah.
For the Yellow Ranger, we have Tessa Blanchard.
If we're going purely Mighty Morphin, I'll say a no because I'm thinking of a Trini type. Not being racist at all, yeah, but
I've only say this because Trinity was more about the fighting and getting stuff done.
well,
With
that's
that mentality, Tessa has that mentality.
without being racist. I would have said an Oscar type. Not being racist, yeah, but you see in other Power Ranger spin-offs with the Yellow Ranger, they don't have that tough. Like, what's the one that you like? What's it called? Is it Wild Force?
Wild Force. I love
See
that.
that Yellow Ranger there? See, that's a Tessa.
Or are you talking about Dino Thunder?
No.
Yeah?
Like, no.
Oh,
Wild
yeah, because
Force.
she's strong with it.
Yeah. See that? Now that's a Tessa Yellow Ranger. That is.
But
yeah?
I can't see her as a Pink Ranger because she has a bit of that
She's
leadership
not that
form.
feminine.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm
she's
not
not-
saying that
she's a
she's not
badass.
feminine, but
No,
she's
she's
got
a
that
badass.
badass effect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Yellow
So,
Ranger. Yep.
you say yes for her as well?
110%. Yep.
Perfect. Then I go back to WWE for this one, and I've gone a bit of a shock for Pink Ranger because of bubbly personality wise, and I know she'll be able to get it done, is none other than Ember Moon.
Out of all the ones you told me, I don't know if this is even worse or just as bad as Ricochet. I disagree.
Ember Moon
Disagree.
would be a
Nah.
perfect addition. You don't reckon Ember Moon is a Pink Ranger?
Bailey, you're mentioning bubbly. First of all, Emma.
Well, I did it for the cold opening, and I don't reckon Bailey would be a good Pink Ranger. Even though, yeah, she's good with kids and all that type of stuff, I don't reckon she'll be one to defend the nation.
Okay, what about what's it? Candice LeRae. She'd be a nice Pink Ranger.
Should be a fantastic Pink Ranger. I didn't think of that, but so you're saying Ember Moon kick her as the Pink Ranger.
I'd say no. Honestly, I'd say no. But then look at what's her name? Is it Carly Rae from AEW? She's another good. Like she's like another Bailey type. You know.
She could be a Pink Ranger in a Disney type of thing. So what are you saying, Ember for Pink?
I'm saying no for Ember.
No?
Ember's more like a cool villain.
Alright. Now, as the leader, as the Red Ranger,
Okay,
because I had to try to match Jason's personality of being caring but then angry at times.
So like just a nice leader.
Exactly, and I'm thinking AJ Styles as the Red Ranger.
There are so many options you can pick. I'm extremely biased. Seth Rollins would also suit as a nice Red Ranger.
Because John Cena would be like a Rocky. As
Oh,
sad as that
jeez.
sounds.
John Cena, nah, man. Nah, John Cena's like another Zordon type. I wouldn't have put him, yeah? See, me personally, I would go Seth, but AJ, you can't say no to an AJ, though.
So what do you say? AJ is a perfect Red Ranger?
Out of all the ones, I think he's the one that you pinpointed the most.
Yeah.
Because, look, first of all, Jason wasn't the big talker. It was more Tommy who did the talking later on, yeah? And in terms of just Red, because Jason was overshadowed once Tommy came in, yeah? And AJ... Look, talking-wise, he gets it done. He can be a bit of a prick currently right now. He's back as a heel.
Yeah.
And as a leader, everyone loves him. It is the command center that AJ Styles built.
Exactly right.
So yeah, I agree. AJ Styles.
This is my Power Rangers. The only Power Rangers.
Him with a gold shield would be nice.
Yeah, but then Vince is the Green Ranger as the final say.
No, we're not going with that.
No, we're not going with
Wait,
that.
for a bonus round. I know you only prepared those 5. If we had to pick a green.
He has to be someone, I'm going to say indies, just because he's away from the group, but he's kind of there. And the perfect person for that, and you're going to be like, why? Puck.
Adrian Neville.
As the Green Ranger.
I was actually thinking more. Yeah, see,
Him or Hagman?
do you know if he swapped it around? Do you know who would have been good? Dean Ambrose. But it was more that, do you know if Dean Ambrose ever came back? Because you know how he's hating right now? Do you know how, like, he's completely hating right now on the whole thing, yeah, on WWE. Imagine if he came back. He's a perfect Green Ranger. He's perfect, hands down perfect.
Yeah.
But I'll still, like, a Hangman would be nice as well.
Hangman would be good because it's that type of effect. They're away from it. They only want to do their job, and he is specifically the horseman who wants to get his name over, and him as the Green Ranger would be believable.
And he started off as a heel first.
Exactly right.
Alright, I'll give you that.
So what are you saying? For the Power Ranger squad we've got here, the ones that have confirmed that you say yes to for wrestlers as Power Rangers. You said yes for AJ as Red.
Yes.
Then you said yes for Yellow as Tessa.
Yep.
Then you've said yes for Black as Ali.
Yes.
Those are the only 3 you said yes to.
Look,
and then you said Blue Ranger with a bit of the smarts. Who did you recommend?
I said Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods is the Blue Ranger, and Pink, you're saying Candice LeRae. That would be a top-notch squad. I reckon it's a top-notch squad as it is.
It is regardless, yes.
And what I gotta say is, that's another way to wrap up Wrestling Bomb Shelter episode 2.
A very delayed episode for this week.
Very delayed episode. We're sorry for that, people, but if you like what we're talking about here, Wrestling Bomb Shelter, we're trying to bring some more, not too much criticism, but we're trying to mix it in with a bit of comedic style, and having last week as conspiracies and today as your Power Rangers, I reckon it's a good start. We don't know what episode 3 is going to be for yet. Wow, I stuffed that up. But anyway,
Just like
do you have
me,
anything to say, Les BLT, to top this off? What did you think of this episode?
Oh, 2 inchy. It's been a very, very long, very long episode because we'll be talking a lot about WWE.
Yes.
Maybe we'll lay off the e-source for next week, but then, you know, that it always happens when you go to NXT pay-per-view with a WWE pay-per-view. That always happens. But as of now, we've got a lot of important things that are coming up. We've got AEW All Out that's going to be happening very soon. So we could probably throw out some predictions soon and do a review on that as soon as it comes out.
Yes, we will.
Obviously, New Japan is going in the right direction. There's a lot of interesting things that are going to happen. MLW is still low-key killing it now. Who's it? Jacob Fatu is still reigning as the world champion, reigning and defending. Don't care. And I don't care because Simon Gotch is there. Simon Gotch, fuck you. Then...
Oh, there's one thing that we missed out for the news, though.
Oh, here we go. What is it?
The Gino Gambino, Mr. Juicy, is still absolute garbage.
And with that, shall we say goodbye?
I reckon we should say goodbye, but we need someone to play us off. And I reckon that's none other than one half of the club, his old gimmick. Alright. I was going to say fetus, that's bad. Alright, Festus, take us away.
Biscuits and gravy.